Alrighty, traders, hello everybody. Let's get into a bit of a market update for you guys. I'm going to be covering all the markets today, from the indices. Bit of a small little bounce out of the indices. What's going on there? Also going to be covering gold and silver. We're getting a really nice bounce out of gold and silver from there, and I'll probably cover a whole bunch of range of markets in this video here right now. So traders, make sure you grab access to that 95% off Master Trader Lab, link in the description there. Now let's actually get into, I was just looking at this stock here. Now let's actually get into the markets today. Let's go start off with the good old good old Dow Jones. And the really big thing that I'm always watching for, right, because one of the hardest things about trading, right, is letting our thoughts and our emotions getting involved. And so for me, the best thing to me to do is I need to rely on techniques to help me remove that emotions. Instead of saying, what am I fearful of right now? Okay, I can't go on that. You know what I mean? Because you know yourself, right? Whatever you're fearful of or all that sort of stuff, it just doesn't really sort of help you with your own trading, right? So the thing for me is I'm always looking at still to this day, what is the trend still here? And what part of the trend are we? And so therefore, like if we have a look at any sort of trend, right? So if I bring up this chart here right now of the Dow Jones, there is trend analysis, right? And there is what part of the, what's the trend? That's the first question. Here we have what? We have higher lows, don't we? Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and a higher low. And the market, so the market is in an upward trend, right? So we know that. So firstly, we can't be going short. Secondly, there's not a top yet. And so the thing about calling a top in the market or short in the market right now is you may be right now, but if you look at that as a foundational approach, you were wrong here, wrong here, wrong here, wrong here. Oh, you were right here. Oh, good, you know, cool. You got it right. Your success rate is 20%, maybe 10%. 10% of the time, you're going to actually pick the top in the markets. You see what I'm saying here? So we never want to be going against the markets because that's what we think, right? No one definitely knows what's going to happen. So the most important thing for us to do is just to continue going with the markets. And if the market is still trending either up or down, then we have to go with that, right? We can't fight that. That is the facts. Not what I'm fearful of or what I think or this or that or all that sort of stuff. Or this expert on YouTube, right? None of that sort of stuff really matters. So the thing for me is firstly, to keep my emotions in check and to see reality for what it really is. I'm looking at the Dow Jones now and the trend is up, right? We've been making these higher lows all up and we know when the market makes higher lows, the trend is up. Now, the thing is that if I'm trying to get a good understanding of what's happening right now, what part of the trend is happening right now, right? So in an upward trend, right, we have the what's called the energy using phase when we're actually using energy because it's actually moving up. Now in this case, it's an upward trend. So as it's going up, right, it's using a lot of energy. Why? Because you think about it, right? For the market to continue going up, guess what? It has to be buying, right? They're buying it, buying it, buying it, buying it. They're using energy to buy it up. And then we go through an energy building phase. They've run out of energy. And now we go through an energy building phase. And after a period of energy building phase, we go through an energy using phase, right? And then the energy building phase might look something like this here, right? And then we go through another. This is what's called an upward trend, right? Because it's, guess what? It's making these lows, higher lows, and higher lows here. And we have these points through here. And we have for me, and this is what I'm always trying to do whenever I'm looking at this market to keep myself in check. Energy using phases, energy using phases, and energy using phases, okay? So so we have the energy using phases, and then we have the energy building phases, right? So we have the trend. So if I'm looking at the market right now as I speak, what's the trend still? The trend's still up, right? So the trend's still making higher lows in the markets. Cool, check. Now, here's the thing that I'm always trying to look. Here's the thing I'm always trying to look at. On my understanding myself. We know the trend is up, but what part of the trend is happening right now? Are we part of an energy using phase where the market's been going up for quite some time, or are we right now part of an energy building phase? And so we can see here just This here was the energy using phase, the energy using phase, and the energy using phase. And then we are. Then we had what? The energy building phase, the energy building phase. Now we're part of what? The energy using phase. So right now, we know, one, the trend is up, and two, we're just part of the energy building phase. What does that mean for us? Firstly, the trend hasn't changed yet. For a changing trend, we need a significant low broken, right? Because guess what? In a downward trend, what do we have? We have lower highs and lower lows, right? So we have that. If we know that in the back of our mind, in an upward trend, we have these higher lows and higher highs. For the upward trend to be over, then we must be no longer making higher lows. Therefore, if the market breaks down here, this is the point right here when we say the trend is over. Like, for example, I'm going to get the gold in a minute. You'll be able to see that's the reason why gold has changed its tune, at least for the short term right now, right? And again, if you've been following me now with the whole gold situation, I've been leading you down the right path when it comes to gold. Now, by the way, when it comes to gold, someone contacted me yesterday and they say I saved them $1 million from the gold situation, okay? So what I'm doing here right now, guys, is I'm teaching you techniques. I'm teaching you techniques of how I view the market on a simple foundational basis, and I can remove all the clutter and all the other crap that I don't need to use, so I can try to keep my emotions in check as much as possible, right? Because there's an emotional game here. So I'm trying to keep my emotions in check as much as possible. So right now, I know the trend is still up because guess what? That's the last low, that's the last low, and this is the last low. So we're still making higher lows. This market would have to, again, we don't know if this is going to be the top or not. And if you're trying to call the top right now, and if that's your strategy, you're going to be probably 20% right. That means you're going to be 80% wrong. Because every single time you try to call a top so far, right? Who says this is going to be the top? We don't know, right? What we want to do is we want to just give the odds on our side. When the market starts to break this low here, if the market does something like that, now we know, okay, this is significant in the markets and it's completely changed. But for now, the trend is still up. Because remember, we never want to trade based off what we think, what we hope, or fear. Never trade based off what you think, hope, or fear. I think this, I'm hoping this, I'm fearful of this. What's the market doing, okay? And now we can make a decision. So right now, if we understand that the market also goes in these cycles, right? Energy using phases, energy building phases, energy using phases, energy building phases, right? So we go through these cycles, right? As you can see here, energy using phases, and then we go through energy building phases. If we know what phase we are in, what's going to come soon, right? If we're in an energy building phase, we know it's just a matter of time before we start to go through our next energy using phase. And if the trend does stay up, it still makes higher lows, then there's a high probability the next energy using phase is going to be with the trend. You with me so far? Class is in session for you guys. So the purpose of me bringing this up for you guys here is to teach you guys the things that I'm always looking for when it comes down to that right now. Let's go look at the Nasdaq. And we can go through the exact same situation, the exact same thing, right? And try to see what's really going on here. Let's bring up this one here. So let's go through here, right? So this here was the energy using phase. Energy using phase is through here, and the energy using phase, right? So what's the trend right now? This is the last significant low. Oh, that was significant low, and a significant low. I always call them significant, so these little small ones is not what I'm looking for. And then we can see, oh look, this was an energy building phase. This here was a bit of an energy building phase because it went sideways this time. And right now we're going through here. So what's this right now? This is still now what? An energy building phase. So right now on the Nasdaq, we're still above this high here. And we would really need to see this. Let's go this one here, right? We would need to see the Nasdaq break that low there for then the tune to change. But for now, the trend is up. We're part of this energy building phase. And as long as the Nasdaq stays above this 20,000 and holds here and still continues to develop this energy building phase, there's going to come a time when it's going to start to go through one of these energy using phases, and it's probably going to be up when it does start to do that. Makes sense? So, and then the S&P 500, let's go through the exact same situation here, right? So for the last few phases, I'm trying to get understanding. Okay, firstly, there's a low, and there's a low. Okay, so what? So right now, the trend is completely up, right? There's no doubt about that. That's the facts. This is what's still right now. We can't go against it. So we can't go short, right? Because again, the reason why we can't go short is the first identification is what's the trend. If there is a trend, because sometimes there's not, right? Sometimes we get this going on with the markets and there's no trend, right? So if we know there's a trend, we want to go with that. Why? Because the biggest moves are going to be what? With the trend, right? The biggest moves and the highest probability are going to be with the trend. Which is also going to and also give you the best chance of jumping on a big profitable trade. The low success rate, right, is what? Trying to go short here, or maybe even trying to go short here. So we're still in a very strong bull market through here. And I could throw my thoughts, I could throw my opinions, I could throw all this other unemployment rate and debt and all that sort of stuff at the markets. But if the market's continuing to do this here, then I trade the chart, right? I trade the price action. I'm looking to get in today and hold it for a little while to do that. So right now, the S&P is just really holding here quite strong. So this could just be part of what? This could just be part of, as you can see, up, down, higher, low. We're right at this level of support. So we could be getting ready for another really big move from here. Let's go to the Russell, and the Russell is doing the exact same situation, right? So Russell's definitely been volatile, right? Definitely been volatile. Let's actually bring up the last one here, right? But what's the trend still on the Russell? What's the trend still on the Russell? Low, higher low. We had this maybe higher low here, and we had the same low, but we didn't break the low, right? Remember, it's important if we break the low. And then now we could just be getting another higher low here before away we go. So, and here, and as you can see, energy using phase, energy using phase, energy using phase, energy using phase. And then every time, and this is the reason why, guys, as you can see, right? If you're trying to have a high probability of having a successful trade, right? Would it be try to go short the Russell, even try to short the Russell now, or would it have been trying to go long the Russell? Obviously long the Russell. Why? Because the trend is up. So we want to try and go with that there, right? This is all about just giving us the best chance, because trading is a hard thing, right? There's a lot of things about strategies, emotions, right? So to give us the best chances, I'm utilizing these techniques to help me remove my emotions from the markets from here, right? Let's go look at gold and silver for now. We'll go look at this one here. This is silver. So as you can see with silver right now, there really is no trend, right? We did have this low here, this low here, this low here, right? Had a nice energy using phase, energy using phase, energy using phase. But now, notice how we've actually broken that low, right? Or maybe at the same low, we did slightly break the low. So therefore that tells me there's actually no trend here right now. The trend that's actually the low here. So there is actually this point through here has now negated this overall trend through here. So right now, at least on this short-term level, there is actually no trend in place when it comes to the silver market. So it's 50-50, toss a coin. Is it going to break up? Is it going to break down? It's a 50-50, toss a coin. Let's go now down to gold, right? So this is the gold chart here as well. And for a while there, right, and this is where, guys, it's so important, right? Because if we have a look at this entire year, ever since this started this year, we've been doing what? We've continued to make these lows, higher lows, same low, but didn't break it, all right? So we still held it, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. This is the very first time, this is the first time this year this has happened, and completely changes everything from here. This is the reason why, guys, when it comes to gold, I expected gold to have a big pullback. We did get that. But now I'm analyzing what the market is right now, and we have the trend has changed, right? Energy using phase, energy using phase, energy using phase, energy using phase. Again, trend is up. And this is the reason why, guys, we want to go with the trend, right? If you try to go short these points through here, and that's where heads and shoulders and double tops and divergences, all that sort of stuff is actually a very, very low probability, right? Because we want to be able to have the best chance of jumping on a trade that's likely to make a big profit, right? And that doesn't happen all the time, but we want to give us the best chance of actually doing that in the markets. Now, what has happened now? Now, potentially, we have completely changed. And as you can see, right, even through here, bam, 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 right? And you start to go through these phases through here. But what's happening right now? Right now, we completely did what? We completely broke this low. This is the first time this year gold is doing this. What does that mean? The trend is over with gold right now, at least on the short-term level, right? This is for the short-term technical analysis, right, guys? Short-term. That means the market, this gold might just hold here, go up and down and not do much for a couple of months, 2-3 months, and then maybe continue the overall big bull market we're in gold, right? That maybe happen. So what I'm talking about here for you guys, you gold bugs out there, is short-term technical analysis and what's happening right now. And so therefore, what's happening on a short-term level basis is this, right? So for you gold bugs that get your knickers in a knot about, oh my goodness, blah, 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 blah. It's like, guys, the market's talking to us, right? We just need to listen to the markets here. And I'm just the messenger, right? I'm just the messenger. And we are starting to get that bounce from here right now. So there's a high probability, as you can see, there's a high probability we're going to roll up, maybe come back up to this level here, which is around the 50% level. And then we could start to see a movement on the downside. So there we go, traders. Traders, if you do need some really more guidance, personal help, some coaching, you want to get access to the most powerful trading systems on the planet, trading techniques on the planet. You want to be able to get access to me every single day, where I can help you, coach you, and guide you through your trading process, the trading setups, the trading exit points management, also emotional management, so on and so forth, every single day. If you really are dedicated for the next 12 months, then my inner circle may be a good fit for you. I've got 2 spots left for 2025. You can go to getjohnshelp.com, and over there you'll be able to see all the information about what the inner circle is all about. You can see my real equity curve as well too. You can see testimonials. You can see there's also more about me, about my backstory and what's my story and what gives me the right to teach you, and so much more. So go to getjohnshelp.com to apply for those one of the last few spots for 2025.